Hello, Medicare Advantage Risk Adjustment operators, innovators, and learners. Welcome to another learning series of the Hughes Academy Risk Adjustment Made Easy, the Medicare Advantage kind. If today is your first time joining us, we want to say thank you for joining us and welcome. If you have been studying with us all the way, we also want to appreciate you and we are thankful that you are joining us today as well. I am your host tutor, Dr. Prince Bewa. Throughout this month, we have been going through the payment year 2027 advanced notice that CMS released. And if today is the first time you're joining us, we have two previous videos that links are in the show notes that you can click on and watch the prior videos that covers the two parts that we've looked at on the MA side and then on the Part D side for MA and MAPD health plans. Today we'll be taking on into another focus area of the advanced notice, focusing on PACE programs. And PACE is the program for all-inclusive care for the elderly. If you are new to PACE, I actually do have a series of playlists that goes through PACE programs and who they are and how they do their things and how it differs from MA. So you can also check that out in our playlist. The advance notice was released in January 26, 2026. As you prepare your comments, as you work through to understand the payment impact, these videos are very helpful in understanding that. And this is just scratching at the surface. I will really encourage you to go to the website, download a copy, and really dig deeper into the advance notice. For PACE plans, the payment year 2027 proposal for PACE plans, CMS proposed that for payment year 2027 HCC model, CMS retaining the 2017 CMS HCC model for payment year 2027. CMS has also brought up the new 2027 CMS HCCs that has been proposed to be used to pay for MA. CMS is jumping the PACE program to that model. As the 2017 is retained, but the 2024 is sunsetted for the payment year 2027 CMS HCC model. And unlike the MA, CMS is proposing to retain the continued use of the online chart review records for only PACE programs, not in MA for payment year 2027. But I would really encourage PACE plans to be started moving on, because from the direction things are going, it will not be long for PACE to be moved totally onto regular encounter data records. On looking at the numbers that are needed for risk score calculation, comparing the payment year 2026 to the payment year 2027, the normalization factors 2017 CMS HCC for last year, or 2026, which we are in now, was 1.187, which is increased here to 1.207. For the 2024 CMS HCC, the normalization factor was 1.067, where this time it is decreasing to 1.058. The Mackey factor stays the same. And in terms of data sources, CMS is proposing to jump from the 1090 that is being used in 2026 to 50/50 that is being proposed for 2027. So RAPS data are going to have an equal share of the risk score. So this is very critical as a PACE plan. If you are not submitting encounter data, this is going to be critically important to start working on that now. So what are some actions that can be taken in that? RAP submission continues. If you are still submitting RAPs and that is the only thing you can do, definitely you want to keep doing that. Review your RAP submission completeness, identify any errors, and ensure that all eligible diagnoses are submitted to RAPs is counting to 50% of your risk score on the diagnoses that are coming in from RAPs. On the encounter side, review all encounter data submissions and compare that to your RAPs. Do that comparison, identify gaps, and check out, because encounter is going to be 50%, because last year it was 10%. So understanding these are very critically important. If you are unable to submit encounter data, you may get demographics for the encounter side, but ultimately it is not as equivalent to getting your full revenue that are coming from a full diagnosis. So I would greatly encourage you, if you're in a PACE program and you are not submitting encounter. Another option is, if you only can do one, you can submit encounters, because the encounters counts towards both models. So even if you are submitting only encounters and you are not submitting RAPs, this can happen where the encounter flow into the other module. So you get a complete set. But if you're unable to do encounters, definitely you want to keep your reps going and making sure that at least you are getting your 50% starting next year from your 50% on your 2027 payment accurately. And that is what we have for today, covering some of the few key things regarding PAYS plans for the proposed 2027 payment. Otherwise, I will encourage you, if you are not already on our email list, that you go to our website, www.thehillsacademy.com, and you go to the Risk Adjustment Made Easy, and you get the chance to get our signature gift from Chaos to Clarity, the essential comparison cheat sheet on Medicare Advantage risk adjustment data sources, which are some of the data sources we've been covering today. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe, to like, to share if this has been helpful to you. Otherwise, we will catch you next week as we finish this month's series on the rate announcement. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any question or anything that you want to talk about more. Bye for now.